Stage 12, paragraph page 1075.
Yeah.
In our
I've
last.
got a
Hmm.
new textbook. Yeah.
Oh, already. Okay, so
Yeah.
we are at Newark. Last headword was flaw. Okay, so let's start with
Mm,
revision.
mm,
Okay, let me just scroll down for our
mm,
revision.
mm,
71, 75. Okay, so let's start with revision. Here we go. First
mm,
question. So, when you have friends over, do you normally tidy up a little before they come round? When you
mm.
have friends over, do you normally tidy up a little before they come round? Yes or no?
Oh, yes.
When I have
When I
friends
have
over,
friends
I
over,
normally tidy
I
up a
normally
little
tidy up a little
before they come round.
before they come round.
Right? How often does payday come round for most people? How often does payday come round for most people? Payday
Payday
comes round
comes round
once a month
once a
for
month
most
for
people.
most people.
How do patients usually feel when they come round after an operation? How do patients usually feel when they come round after an operation? Patients
Patients
usually feel
usually feel
confused,
confused,
tired,
tired,
etc. when
etc.
they come round
when they come round
after an operation.
after no operation.
An operation.
Operation.
Very good. How come customs officers at most airports don't often need to inspect luggage manually these days? How come custom officers at most airports don't often need to inspect luggage manually these days? Custom officers
Custom
at
officers
most
at
airports
most airports
don't often need
don't often
to
need
inspect
to
luggage
inspect the luggage
manually these days
manually these days
because most
because
airports
most
have
airports
special
have
machines
special
that
machines
scan
that
luggage
scan
instead.
luggage instead.
Very good. What's the difference between scanning a document and photocopying a document? What's the difference between scanning a document and photocopying a document? The difference
The
between
difference between
scanning a document
scanning a document
and
and
photocopying a
photocopying
document
a
is
document
that scanning
is that scanning
produces a
produces
digital copy
a digital
of
copy
the document,
of the document,
whereas photocopying
whereas photocopying
produces
produces
a paper copy.
a paper copy.
Where you name a sport that one needs very little kit for. Name a sport that one needs very little kit for. The name
The
of a
name
sport
of a sport
that one needs
that one needs
very little kit for
very little kit for
is football.
is football.
What kit does one need to play tennis? What kit does one need to play tennis? To play tennis,
To play tennis,
one needs
one
a
needs
pair of
a
trainers,
pair of
a
trainers,
racket,
a racket,
and a tennis ball.
and a tennis ball.
But if you bought something in a shop but subsequently realized you've been misled by the salesperson about the product, what would you do? If you bought something in a shop but subsequently realized you've been misled by the salesperson about the product, what would you do? If I bought
If
something
I bought
in a
something
shop
in a
but
shop, but
subsequently
subsequently
realized I've
realized
been misled
I've been
by
misread
the salesperson
by the salesperson
about the product,
about the product,
I'd
I'd return to the shop and demand a refund.
demand a refund. Very good. Okay. Is it an offense in your country to spread false rumors about other people? Is it an offense in your country to spread false rumors about other people? Yes or no?
Oh no,
It isn't
it isn't
an offense
an offense
in my country
in my
to
country
spread
to
false
spread
rumors
false
about
rumors
other people.
about other people.
Very good. Okay, do you take offense if someone criticizes your country? Do you take offense if someone criticizes your country? Yes or no?
No,
I don't take
I don't
offense.
take
Offense.
offense
If someone
if someone
criticizes my
criticizes
country.
my country.
Very good. Okay, so that's the end of revision. Let's have new
Mhm.
word. Okay, so let's have word pool nouns. Okay. Okay,
Mhm.
repeat flaw.
Flow,
Very good. One more with the letter F. Flaw.
flow.
Very good. So the word flaw
Mm.
is a
Mhm.
small fault or weakness that makes something imperfect. For example, laziness
Mm,
was the one flaw in his character.
mhm.
Okay, let's practice. What's one of your flaws? What's one of your flaws? One of my
One
flaws
of my flaws
is
is mm,
what? Laziness,
mm,
being late, being
uh
sleepy,
is
getting angry.
getting angry.
Getting angry very easily.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, next repeat gadget.
Gadget.
Very good. Okay, the word gadget is a small tool or device or machine that
Mm-hmm.
does something useful. Some examples of gadgets are cell phone, MP3 players, iPad, etc. Let's
Hmm.
practice. What gadget do you have? What gadget do you have? I have a cell phone,
I have a cell phone
an iPad,
and a pad
etc.
and etc.
Very good. Next, repeat dormitory.
Dormitory.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word dormitory is a large room for several people to sleep in at a college
Mm-hmm.
or university where students live. For
Mm-hmm.
example, some students live in a dormitory. Okay, let's practice. Did you live in a
Mm-hmm.
dormitory when you were a student? Did you live in a dormitory when you were a student? Yes or no?
No,
I didn't
I
live
didn't
in a
live in a
dormitory when I
dormitory
was a
when
student.
I was a student.
Very good. Next, repeat victim.
Victim.
Very good. Listen, the word victim is a person who has been attacked, injured, robbed, killed, cheated, or fooled by someone else. For
Mm-hmm.
example, I was the victim of his betrayal. Let's
Mm-hmm.
practice. Have you ever been a victim of any sort? Have you ever been a victim of any sort? Yes or no?
Oh no,
I've never
I
been
have never been
a victim of
a
any
victim
sort.
of any sort.
Very good. Okay, next repeat bench.
Bench.
Very good. The word bench is a long and usually hard seat for two or more people. For
Mm-hmm.
example, a park bench. Let's practice. What's a bench? What's a bench? A bench
A
is a
bench
long
is a
and
long
usually
and
hard seat.
usually hard
Hard
seat.
seat
Hard seat
for two or more
for two
people.
or more people.
Very good. Okay, next repeat air.
Air.
Very good. An heir is a person
Mm-hmm.
who has the legal right to receive the property of someone when that
Mm-hmm.
someone dies. Let's practice. If you're an heir to a large fortune, would you still need a job? If you're an heir to a large fortune, would you still need a job? Yes or no?
I know.
If I were an
If I
heir
were an heir
to a large
to
fortune,
a large fortune,
I wouldn't need a
I
job.
wouldn't be a mm,
I wouldn't need
I wouldn't be
I wouldn't need
I wouldn't need
a job.
I wouldn't need a job
Why not? Why not? Because
because
I have lots of money
I have
already.
lots of money.
Very good. Next, repeat maid.
Maid.
Very good. The word maid is a woman or girl who does
Mm.
cleaning work in a house or hotel.
Mhm.
Let's practice. What do we call a woman or girl who does cleaning in a house or hotel? What do we call a woman or girl who does cleaning in a house or hotel? We call a
We
woman
call a woman
or girl
or
who
girl
does cleaning
who does
in a
cleaning
house or
in a
hotel
house or
a
hotel
maid.
a maid.
Very good. Next, repeat client.
Client.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word client is a customer in a shop or hotel.
Mhm.
Let's practice. What do we call a customer in a shop or hotel? What do we call a customer in a shop or hotel? We call a
We
customer
call a
in
customer
a shop
in a
or
shop
hotel
or
a
hotel
client.
a client.
Very good. Next, repeat penalty.
Penalty.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word penalty means punishment for breaking a
Mhm.
rule or law. For
Mhm.
example, in the old days, one of the severe penalties for murder is by hanging.
Mhm.
Okay, let's practice. In the old days, what was one of the severe penalties for murder? In the old days, what was one of the severe penalties for murder? In the old
In
days,
the old days,
one of the
one
severe,
of the severe
one of the
one of the severe
penalties for murder
penalties for murder
was by hanging.
was by hanging.
Very good. Next, repeat napkin.
Napkin.
Very good. Okay, the word napkin is a noun. It is a small piece of cloth or paper used during a meal to clean your lips and
Mhm.
fingers and to
Mhm.
protect your clothes.
Mhm.
Let's practice. What do we call a what do we use a napkin for? What do we use a napkin for? We use a
We
napkin
use a napkin
during a meal
during a
for
meal
cleaning our
for
lips
cleaning our lips
and fingers
and fingers
and to protect
and to
our
protect
clothes.
our clothes.
Very good. Next, repeat escalator.
Escalator.
Very good. An escalator is a moving set of stairs that carries
Mhm.
people up and down from one level of a building to another. For
Mhm.
example, if the escalator isn't working, I have to walk up the stairs.
Mhm.
Let's practice. If the escalator isn't working, what will you do? If the escalator isn't working, what will you do? If the
If
escalator
the escalator
isn't working,
isn't
I
working,
have to walk
I
up
have
the
to
stairs.
walk up at stairs.
Very good. Next, repeat flare.
Flare.
Very good. So, flair means a natural ability to do something. It also
Mhm.
means talent, flair.
Mm.
For example, he has a flair for storytelling, or he has a
Mhm.
flair for art, a talent for art.
Mhm.
Let's practice. What's the thing you have a flair for? What's the thing you have a flair for? I have a flair
I
for
have a flair for
what? Singing.
uh, singing.
Singing. Oh, you're good at singing? Very good.
Yeah.
Very next, repeat academy.
Oh, academy.
Very good. An academy is a school that provides training in special subjects or skills,
Mhm.
like a cram school. Let's practice.
Mhm.
What do we call a school that provides training in special subjects or skills? What do we call a school that provides training in special subjects or skills? We call a
We
school
call a
that
school
provides
that
training
provides trainings
in special
in
subjects
special
or
subjects
skills
or skills
an academy.
and academy.
Very good. Next, repeat recreation.
Recreation.
Very good. Okay, the word recreation means something people do to relax or have fun or
Mhm.
activities for enjoyment. For example, surfing, hiking, gardening, reading, etc.
Mhm.
Let's practice. What's your favorite form of recreation? What's your favorite form of recreation? My favorite
My
form
favorite form
of recreation
of recreation
is
is cycling.
very good. Next, repeat suburb.
Suburb.
Very good. Okay, the word suburb means a town or other area where people live in houses near a larger city.
Mhm.
Let's practice. Would you consider buying a house in a suburb? Would you consider buying a house in a suburb? Yes or no?
Oh yes,
I would
I
consider
would
buying a
consider
house
buying a house
in a suburb.
in a suburb
Why? Why? Because
because I like hmm, countryside.
the countryside.
Mm.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. The bigger,
The bigger,
the more.
the more.
Very good. Okay, listen. When we are
Mhm.
comparing only two people or only two things, it is possible
Mhm.
to use the word the in front of a comparative adjective
Mhm.
rather than the superlative adjective. For
Mhm.
example, I have two bedrooms in my flat. The smaller of the two is used as a storeroom.
Mhm.
Let's practice. Give me an example of the word the used in front of a comparative adjective instead of the superlative adjective. Give me an example of the word the used in front of a comparative adjective instead of the superlative adjective. Of the
Mhm.
two
Of
restaurants
the two
on
restaurants
this street,
on this street,
this one
this one
is the more
is
expensive.
a more expensive
Very good. Next, repeat comparatively.
comparatively.
Very good. Comparatively is an adverb. It is used when
Mhm.
someone or something is measured or judged against something else. If we compare
Mhm.
something with something else. For example, in the sentence, for a lady of 92, her eyesight is comparatively good. So we
Mhm.
are comparing a particular lady of good eyesight with other women her age
Mhm.
who are usually had a bad eyesight.
Mhm.
Let's practice. Give me an example of the word
Mm.
comparatively. Give me an example of the word comparatively, please. For a lady
For a
of
lady
92,
of
her
92,
eyesight
her
is
eyesight is
comparatively good.
comparatively good.
Very good. Next, repeat economic,
Economic,
economical,
economical,
cutback.
cutback,
That's one word. And then two words, cut back.
cut back.
Very good.
Mm,
Okay, listen.
mhm,
The word economic means
mhm,
related to money or the economy. For example, we
mhm,
can say the country is facing severe economic problems.
mhm,
The word economical, on the other hand, means providing good value or requiring
mhm,
less money than usual. For example, we can say the car costs quite a lot to buy, but it's very economical to run.
mhm,
One word, cutback, is a noun. It is the act of
mhm,
reducing the number or amount of something. For example, governments
mhm,
sometimes introduce cutbacks in public spending during an economic crisis.
mhm,
Cutback is a phrasal verb, two words, which means to
mhm,
reduce the amount of something, especially
mhm,
money that you spend in order to save something. For example, if for some reason I personally needed to start living more economically, I'd cut back on petrol and clothes.
mhm.
Let's practice. The government sometimes introduce cutbacks in public spending during an economic crisis. The government sometimes introduce cutbacks in public spending during an economic crisis. Yes,
Yes,
governments sometimes
governments sometimes
introduce
introduce
cutbacks
cutbacks
in public
in
spending
public spending
during an economic
during an
crisis.
economic crisis.
Very good. If for some reason you personally needed to start living more economically, what would you cut back on? If for some reason you personally needed to start living more economically, what would you cut back on? If for some
If
reason
for some
I
reasons
personally needed
I personally needed
to start living
to start living
more economically,
more
I'd
economically,
cut back on.
I'd cut back on eating out and traveling abroad,
V-
etc.
Very good. Next, repeat
Mm.
explosion.
Explosion,
Massive.
massive.
Very good. Okay. The word explosion is a noun. It is a sudden, loud, and violent release of energy that happens when something such as a
Mhm.
bomb breaks apart in a way that
Oh.
sends parts flying outwards. For
Mhm.
example, car explosion, volcanic explosion, etc. Massive is an adjective. It means very large, solid, and heavy. For example,
Mhm.
a gas leak can cause a massive explosion in a building.
Mhm.
Let's practice. Can a gas leak in a building cause a massive explosion? Can a gas leak in a building cause a massive explosion? Yes, a
Yes,
gas leak
a gas
in a
leak
building
in a
can
building
cause
can
a
cause
massive
a
explosion.
massive explosion.
Very good. Next, repeat anniversary.
Anniversary.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word anniversary is a date on which something special or important happened in the
Mhm.
previous year. For
Mhm.
example, married couples get up to eating out, giving gifts to each other,
Mhm.
going on vacation, etc. on their wedding anniversary.
Mhm.
Let's practice. What kind of things do married couples get up to on their wedding anniversary? What kind of things do married couples get up to on their wedding anniversary? Married
Mm.
couples
Married
get
couples
up to
get up
eating
to
out,
eating
giving
out,
gifts
giving
to
gifts
each other,
to each other,
going on vacation,
going and back on vacation,
etc. on
etc.
their wedding
on the
anniversary.
wedding anniversary.
Very good. Next, repeat flatter,
Flatter,
compliment,
compliment,
chat up.
chat up.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word compliment is a noun.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
is a remark that says something good or nice about someone or something.
Mm.
For example, she said I look good on my pink dress. She gave me a
Mhm.
compliment.
Mhm.
Flatter is a verb. It means to praise someone or pay them compliments to make them feel good about themselves.
Mhm.
For example, I don't think it's true that we only flatter people when we want something from them. Chat up is a phrasal verb. It means to talk
Mhm.
informally with someone, such as someone you are attracted to. For example,
Mm.
a common situation when someone might choose to flatter the person they're talking to is when they're hoping someone will do a favor for them or when they're chatting up with someone.
Mhm.
Let's practice. What does the verb flatter mean? What does the verb flatter mean? The
Mhm.
verb
The
flatter
verb
means
flatter means
to praise
to
someone
praise someone
or pay them
or
compliments
pay them
to
compliments
make them feel
to
good
make them feel good
about themselves.
about themselves.
Very good. Okay, name a common situation when people might choose to flatter the person they're talking to. Name a common situation when someone might choose to flatter the person they're talking to. A common
A
situation
common
when
situation
someone
when
might
someone
choose
might
to
choose
flatter the
to
person
flatter the person
they're talking to
they are
is
talking to is
when they're hoping
when they are hoping
someone will
someone
do them a favor
will do them a favor
or when they're
or when they are
chatting someone up.
chatting someone up.
Ringo, do you think it's true that we only flatter people when we want something from them? Do you think it's true that we only flatter people when we want something from them? Yes or no?
No,
I don't
I
think
don't
it's
think
true
it's
that
true
we only
that we
flatter
only
people
flatter people
when we want
when
something
we want
from
something
them.
from them.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading.
Okay.
Okay, so our reading is still at stage 9,
Mm-hmm.
paragraph
Yes.
page 775,
75.
775,
Mm-hmm.
and our last headword was sharp. Okay,
Sharp.
sharp. So
Okay.
start with the third question. How
So
do we
the question.
sharpen
Okay. How do we sharpen a
blunt?
blunt axe?
Mhm.
We